In a 2000 study, it was determined that 51% of families did not have any children. To determine if the percentage has changed since then, the government surveyed 160 families and found that 88 of them did not have any children. Using a 99% confidence interval, determine if there's been a change. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find our p-hat value, which you remember is x divided by n. So in this case, 88 divided by 160, which is going to give me a p-hat value of 0.55. Now we're going to find our confidence interval. Remember from before, our confidence interval falls into that formula. Well, my p-hat value is 0.55 plus or minus. It's a 99% confidence interval, which means my significance level has to be the other 1%, so 1% significance. It's two-sided because we're looking at a confidence interval here. So we're cutting off half on this side and half on this side. So 0.005 on the left, 0.005 on the right. I use my graphing calculator and I find 2.58 as my number. So I'm going to plug 2.58 in as my z, multiply it by my standard error, which is p, 0.51, times q, 0.49, divided by my sample size of 160. Reminder, this is referred to as my margin of error. So when I go through and I do this, I'm going to end up with a margin of error of 0.10, which means when I subtract 0.10, when I add 0.10, I'm going to end up this 0.45 to 0.65 as my confidence interval. Well, the p-value, the parameter they're looking at here, this is what they're testing. Well, 0.51 is inside that interval. Well, since 0.5 is in that interval, this data, this new data, these 88 families out of 160 that were surveyed, it does not indicate that there's any difference. And the reason is, since 0.51 is in this interval, 51% of families, it still may be the average. We got 55% in our sample, but the 55% is not far enough away from the 51 to support that there has been a difference.